So, hello everyone. I'm working at ACPR, Autorité de contrôle prudentiel et de résolution, which is basically a big chunk of Banque de France. So let's start with my background. So I did Clément Colin did the macroeconomics and development track here in AMSE. And my internship, I first went for the M1 to Banque de France at the Statistical Directorate. I used SAS, which is great, to do basically data extraction, econometrics, and to study some debt choices to see if for what reason would a company rather take a loan with a bank or through the debt markets. And I as well went to the year after to the Center for Mediterranean Integration in Marseille, which was as well a great experience to be in a part of this small part of the World Bank and to explore what is international policy and development policy in the region. And then during my internship, my internship in the CMI, at the same time, I prepared for the concours, the exam entrance of Banque de France, and I passed. And so right after my internship, I started working at Banque de France, so especially in ACPR. So basically, I could talk about for an hour about Banque de France, ACPR, and the whole institutional organization of this, because it's quite a huge, quite big organization. There is about 10,000 people working there, and many different jobs, many different missions we have. One good things I like with Banque de France and ACPR is that it's really linked to the other European and international institutions. We work with the European Central Bank. We work with what we call the European Single Supervision Mechanism. And so we have many contacts and as well opportunities to either work in other European institutions or to work with and talk with colleagues from other central banks and other supervision agencies. And so basically so ACPR, where I work, we are in charge of overseeing the financial sector, most particularly the banking sector, and to assess the risk, try to basically avoid bankruptcies and next financial crisis, and make sure that banks have enough provisions regarding the risks. And as you know, Banque de France, you must have maybe heard of it, especially if you're studying in APE or macroeconomics. It's the French central bank, so it participates in monetary policy with the ECB. Its goal is to deliver price stability, to distribute the cash we use, and it as well provide economic services to households and firms in France. So many types of jobs and missions. It's not just like setting the interest rate every 2 months, following a Taylor rule or whatever. There are many things to do in Banque de France. So what am I doing more precisely? So I've been now for 3 years in my current position, and I'm in the Research and Risk Analysis Directorate. So some people are specifically in charge of supervising a specific bank, but in my directorate we have like a broader view of the French banking system, and we can do like benchmark analysis, for example, on the different banks, and and monitor the system as a whole. And for example, what I do, I will produce, of course, notes, charts, dashboards to measure the risk level, the solvency and profitability of French banks and compare it with other international banks. And it's really interesting because you have to have some skills on maybe R, Python, and as well I get to learn about accounting practices, prudential regulation, financial instruments, and these are many things I didn't know all about this when I started my job, but as other people said, you can learn on the spot and keep growing when you work. And as well, we read many reports that are published by the ECB or by other institutional organizations. So we usually before, for example, the ECB, the European Central Bank, will publish a risk report to the public. This report is first sent to the national central banks, and basically we have something to say about it. We can say, oh, okay, we agree with this. Now we would like to change this analysis, so we can suggest redrafting. We can as well, of course, we must inform our hierarchy of the content of the report, make some briefs to summarize the main insights from the reports. So that's really interesting to really be at the heart of the economics and to the economy, and knowing in advance a bit what are the point of view of the ECB on the whole economy, and to have a say on that. So I've mentioned this a bit, but what do I like at ACP and Banque de France? It's basically Banque de France is like a big house, and you really can, if you want to, project yourself on a mid or long term, because you have many kind of jobs. You can have let's say, as a banking supervisor, you can be in the financial analyst, corporate analyst, data scientist. You can be more like in the operational side of things for monetary policy. You can do research. And so regardless of if you are APE, BDS, or whatever other track answer has, I think you can potentially have a match with what you like to do. There's as well, I think, a nice working environment with a good balance between work and private life. Well, at least I found that. If you like data in general, Banque de France has lots and lots of data about anything in the economy. We produce a lot of data, and so we have great material to work on to perform analysis. For example, I have access to a data set which is called Anacredit, which enables me to have information on every single credit, like loan, bank loan above 20,000 euros, I can given to corporates. I can know the corporate, the interest rates, the maturity. I basically have any information I want on any loan, and I can perform analysis from that. And this is really precious information that I think a lot of people wish they had, but being in the Banque de France, we have that kind of information. And of course, we are at the heart of economic policy making, so it's nice when you read newspaper, or if you're interested in economics in general, so that you can relate a bit to what you do. And almost reading the newspaper is already part of your job, because it helps you have that economic culture, and that will help you for your job. So about how to enter Banque de France. Of course, I guess the main way, as I said, is the concours, as we call it, either cadre or cadre de direction. So cadre is more like, for the fonction publique, is more like A, and cadre de direction A+, I guess. Could be a long topic, but if you want more information about the concours, how to prepare, and so forth, you can just talk to me after that. I will explain you as much as I can. Of course, I invite you to go on a website, everything is really well explained. We have as well, of course, opportunities for internship, apprenticeship, and as well, like concours remains the main way to enter Banque de France, but like the fonction publique, more and more we can have opportunities for contractuel. Right after your graduation, if your skill is really demanded, you may have opportunities to join the Banque de France directly through like a regular interview application. So yeah, that's it. Just don't hesitate to see me after. Thank you.